And what up, everybody? Welcome back to Feral Publications YouTube channel. This channel talk about zines and DIY publishing. And today we're looking at Feral Publication presents a Batman saga. This was a zine that I made maybe in 2016 or so. So this is a bit way back. But I just wanted to show this off because I forget how some of the stories I really worked really hard on the story structure and the cliffhangers. But also the way I drew this comic, I really actually dig it. With some of this stuff right here, you see the real elementary aspect of it. This is something that I want to get back to. Like something as simple as this, I really like the way these two panels open up. And how it's 3 and 3, 2 and 2, big one. Like the way I laid this out definitely just feels a lot better. And story-wise, it's actually a really fun story, which we'll talk about after we peep out the art. But there's a lot that I did in this comic that I liked a lot. I really dug the way I made the fence. That fence took a while. And like I love this of like the heads right here. Right, so now they're coming out. And they're all like, oh shit, what the fuck is this, right? This shit is getting real. And then homie's taking the sweater off. Right, 6-panel grid. This didn't translate very well. But this page yesterday, I was reminded from the Moon Knight flip through of how like I definitely like these kind of panels. One thing I wish now that I'm looking at that I would have done is you see how they're offbeat like that, but then these two are like this, and it goes back to that. It should have just been like that, like tic-tac-toed. I think that would have just, it would have made it look more visually appealing. I don't know why I didn't do that. I kind of don't know what went through my head. And even this eagle eye panel pulled back, that's actually pretty good. I like this too, the panel where he's jumping over the gate. Yeah, man, and going back to something I said a long time ago in a different video about how like one of the things of like anytime you have an expo dump to do it with news anchors. And then lastly, I was going to do a second book to this, which is going to be the Joker story. Next issue, Enter the Joker. So the story basically, now that we flipped through the art, is sadly, and this is true, that a lot of times homeless people in LA, when their GR, their general relief runs out, meaning that the government's not paying to house these folks with mental, problems that, have mental ailments. Once their funding runs out, once the GR runs out and the government's not helping to fund their stay in certain hospitals that, treat people for these disabilities, they're dumped in just, random places, and Skid Row in Los Angeles is one of those places. So that's kind of the intro. This person is not mentally well. Rather, I made a zine about a person who has a mental disability who has the delusional thought that he is Batman. And so then the way this story goes is he's just kind of living a Batman story, but obviously he's delusional. And, in this story, this is Commissioner Gordon. He's talking gibberish. Batman doesn't understand what's going on, but he thinks that he has some sort of poison or toxic. The comic put, Joker's poisoned you, Commissioner. Where he finds a crack pipe and some crack. A Bart Simpson kind of character. And this fool thinks that he's one of Joker's men and beats him up. And he just says what he knows, which is like, there's some fool they call the Joker that hangs around this alley. So this fool shows up. He starts calling out this fella named Joker. He's like, Joker, yo, Joke, that's for you? He's like, nope. Joker. He's like, he's almost here. Robbing crackheads again? No, man, I ain't done no shit like that. And then that's when he gets him. This right here composition, I really dig. And that's why sometimes when I look back at some of my zines, I see the things that I've grown and built off of, the things that I've done well, that I'm like, oh yeah, like that's pretty hit. Obviously, this right here, it got bigger than what these are, so that's not too cool. But just that layout is one of those things of like, I would like to redo it, because this is, I don't know, 6 years old now. Trust me, I've gotten much better. But then, he basically picks a fight with a fella named Joker, who happens to be a Chicano gangbanger. And then him and his homies beat the shit out of this fella and leave him for dead. This fella calls. This is one thing and this is a true story. There was a YouTuber one time that came to the area where my family lived, which is Watts, Los Angeles. And this YouTuber was trying to, I don't know what he was trying to do, but his channel revolved around like almost being confrontational with people of color, and he was a white fella. And one day he came to Watts and tried to do, I guess, like a skit, and it did not end well for him. No, not at all. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But that kind of situation always stuck with me. And that's why in this, he's like, yes, please, there's a group of people beating up a man dressed up as Batman. I think it may have been a YouTube prank gone wrong. That shit always stuck with me. And that's why I interjected that. But the Joker story was basically going to be my view on how so many people really like the Joker, and he's not a character that you should actually like. Like, I don't understand how he became the hero. Yeah, you can view the Joker as a sad story, but a sad story doesn't make them a hero. You know what I mean? Like, it makes it a very melancholy story, a figure that you sympathize with, right? And you can never truly empathize with the Joker, because to empathize is to understand. And how do you understand madness? It's hard. Like, if you're able to, then shit. Like, I'll be careful when I'm around you. But yeah, my Joker saga was gonna be that, about how human beings are kind of disgruntled with the world, and because they're disgruntled, they think there's something cool about being evil to the wholesomeness in the world. So that was going to be the Joker story and saga and issue. And I'm wondering, maybe I should redo this one and then do the Joker book 2 Joker one. Probably would be fun. But that's it, you guys. I just wanted to look through this a Batman saga that I did quite a time ago. Rereading it, I really dug it. But alright, you guys, as always, there will be a link in the show notes for the big cartel shop, where you can pick up zines made by me and zines that I publish that are made by other folks. Beyond that, please like, share, and subscribe. Lates.